Hey everybody, it's Thursday night. I'm Josh Olive with Haven Comics, and this is Shop Talk, where we're going to talk comics, we're going to talk previews, we're going to talk about movies, and we're going to celebrate a little promise we made to ourselves a little while back. And we're really looking forward to that because this is a celebration that's been a long time coming. So stick around after this awesome video by Nick Ellis of Two Brothers Comics that makes us look way cooler than we are. It's a good video and it makes me happy every single time I watch it. Um, Today is a big day, so I don't want to spend a lot of time talking before I bring on my co-host, the one, the only Alan Breedlove. So, with no further ado, let us bring on Alan, if we can. Alan, what? Man, we're going live, dude.
Well, you mean we're actually going to do a show? I thought we were just going to hang out and eat pizza.
Well, I mean, you said bring pizza, so I brought pizza. But, you know, what a coincidence.
Well, the big question is, did you get a Sticky Fingers?
Well, of course. And for anybody who doesn't know, at Terry's Pizza, when you say extra cheese, which is what a Sticky Fingers has, brother, they put extra cheese on it. Look at that.
Yes, they do.
That is a glorious, beautiful thing. And so I would be...
So when I was a kid, we went to the Terry's Pizza on North Parkway. I guess you want a piece of pizza?
Well, yeah.
Well, no,
I went to Terry's Pizza on North Parkway, too.
Later, why?
Save me a piece.
I'll think about it. Look, my sister, who I walked past, walking back in here, didn't even notice I was carrying a Terry's Pizza box in my hands. Oh, and it's a Sticky Fingers, too. And it's already gotten cold, so it's even better when they're cold. But I know we only got a couple people watching. For those of y'all that don't know, we hit...
We lost Alan. What happened, Alan?
I don't know. I must have hit the wrong button. But for those of y'all that don't know, we did hit 500 subs on YouTube. Thank you very much for everybody that's subbing. I know a lot of those subs come from shorts. But let me tell you what, even if you are taking 60 seconds out of your day to watch one of these shorts, thank you so much. Honestly, I know the live streams, we're anywhere from... we usually start out with a couple. We'll end up with in the low to mid-teens on the live stream. All our views come after the fact. We understand that. Usually around, a decent average on the pull list videos. But for every single one of y'all that have been tuning in, even if it's for a few seconds, thank you very much. Every time y'all click on a video, it helps it. Every time y'all hit like on these videos, the shorts, everything... Believe it or not, those really and truly do help the smaller channels that don't have the massive, thousands upon thousands or even millions of followers. So yes, every single time y'all interact with comments, likes, just click it on the video. It helps us a lot, and we would not be at 500 subs without y'all. So thank you.
That is 100% accurate, and I was enjoying the fact that you were talking because that was giving me time to eat my pizza.
So I don't understand what it is. I mean, everybody loves a good fresh pizza, but it seems like the colder Terry's Pizza gets, the better it gets. And nothing will ever top a slice of Terry's Pizza out of the refrigerator at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I'd love to tell you you're wrong, but you're not.
So for those of y'all that don't know, Terry's is a local place. Wait a minute. Bill wants to hear the applause button. I will do the applause button right quick. And this right here is for everybody that has subbed us and everybody that eats Sticky Fingers pizzas. This one is y'all's applause.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
But you know what? I will let Josh enjoy some pizza for just a moment.
Oh, please, because I'm enjoying it.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't hit stop on the applause. It's still going.
You have to hit stop on it?
Yep.
It'll just keep going forever? I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you don't hit stop on these, it'll just keep going forever. Like, you know what? We may get a copyright claim, but I got to do it because it's our 500th anniversary. Our 500th subscribers.
We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro fighting to...
One of the greatest theme songs ever written whatsoever.
It really was. Now, there's a question on there you need to pull up there from Film Age Studios. How you doing, Chris? All the way in Texas?
So literally on this pizza, it is nothing but sausage, mushrooms, and extra cheese, and that's it.
And pepperoni.
and pepperoni. I have no idea why they called it a Sticky Fingers. One thing about Terry's Pizza, and it is a local establishment that's been around here for as long as I can remember.
Forever.
Forever. Terry's Pizza is truly known for their grease. The grease should be like its own food group. And a truly fresh Terry's Pizza, when you go to lift that slice up, you should have
Runs
grease
down your
down to
arm.
about your elbow.
Yeah.
And it is so good. They also make it's like a chef's special pizza.
Mhm.
And it's like a pizza with a salad on it.
I don't
pretty much
that one.
Yeah, I don't either, but I know a lot of people absolutely love it.
Really? Like all the
Do what?
lettuce on there stops the grease from running down your arm.
Yeah, maybe, but you know what? That's kind of half the experience is that grease running down your arm. It was funny because I called, I was at work today and I called my wife and she answers the phone and she's like, hello. And I said, ham, pepperoni, Terry's. And all she said was yes. And that was it. That was the conversation.
Wow, Bill.
Yeah, you can get those take and bakes. And if you're not careful, I mean, it says on the box, even the take and bake, 425, 14 minutes. If you go 14 minutes and 30 seconds, you're going to have some issues with that grease. I know a couple of people that have done that. And why, I mean, did you put an emoji in or something? Is that what you was doing? Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands?
I think that's what you have to do after Sticky Fingers.
Probably.
See, like a gentleman, pinky's out.
Well, I'm going to let Josh enjoy that pizza, and we're going to jump into some comic books right quick. We won't spend a ton of time on them.
Tell him the real reason I'm enjoying the pizza and you're not.
Yep. Well, the real reason why is because I actually started enjoying my pizza about 4 o'clock this afternoon because I couldn't wait, and I'm stuffed.
And here I was waiting and waiting and waiting.
Oh, no. I mean, it was like a fat kid with birthday cake. I was all on it the second I had a chance.
I would have been.
And nobody get offended because I am a fat kid and I do love birthday cake. So that was a fair analogy for me to use. So right off the bat, let's get started with Dawn of DC Night Terrors issue number 2. I am really digging Zombie Sandman. I would love to see Zombie Sandman go further. Beyond this, have some stories with Constantine. I like the team up between Zombie Sandman and Deadman. It's been fun. even though Deadman is possessing Batman's body right now. I know Night Terrors has been kind of getting some mixed reviews. You either love it or you hate it, I'm guessing. I've really enjoyed it. I'm not reading all of the Night Terrors issues because honestly, in my opinion, they're putting out way too many each week. And you don't have to read all of them to understand what's going on with the story. In this particular issue, Zombie Sandman is telling Deadman about a particular case that he worked when he was alive and how this cult was trying to create the Nightmare Stone and how it just really didn't work out for him. He thought that was the end of it. Apparently somebody did create it. It's only issue 2. There's only going to be 3 in this particular title. This will all be over with at the end of the month. If you just want to grab the 3 Night Terrors issues, I think they're worth a read. I mean, the first 2 have been fun. I've enjoyed them. Next up on the list, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and knock out all the Night Terrors right quick. This one was really weird. It was Night Terrors Detective Comics issue number 1. Gordon is the main focus in it, and it's basically his nightmare. And it was just really strange the way that it was done. It wasn't bad, but at the same time, it wasn't good. It was just kind of, this is one of those where I would really like it if y'all read it and then told me what y'all thought about it. Because this is just one of those, there was just way too much left up to interpretation. It was extremely psychological, which I was not expecting that. I'm kind of surprised that it was so heavily centered on Gordon, but at the same time, it really can't be centered on Batman right now, just simply what's going on with Batman, Deadman, and everything else. This one was actually, it was really weird. I mean, it was very well written, but it was just really strange. I would really like to know y'all's thoughts on this one. Next up, we have Night Terrors Titans. Once again, these are definitely written like a dream. This one kind of threw me. Have you read this one, Josh? Who is the girl?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm not the only one then. Basically, there is a girl in Titan's Tower, and she's going through every single one of the Titans' dreams, and Raven is in her head talking to her. It was neat, her kind of going through the dreams and everything and basically getting the Titans out. But at the same time, one of the reasons why you read Titans is because of Nightwing, and he really can't be in this issue because of what's going on in his main title. It was still cool. It was decent. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of they are definitely coming across as dreams. They've definitely written them like you would picture a dream being written. So I think that I've enjoyed the Night Terrors, but it's definitely an acquired taste. Next up, and this one was a lot more fun than what I thought it was going to be. Tales of Nottingham, issue number 6. I was kind of surprised that we had this kind of bizarre little backstory about Blackthorn and adventure that he had. I'm assuming before he became the sheriff of Nottingham. I'm going to be honest though. I was about halfway through it, and it's like, okay, it's kind of a cool little story and everything, but why are we getting this? It was kind of, I didn't understand why we were getting this particular story until literally the very last page of the story. And then it was like, oh, that's why. And now I need it. I need the rest of it. But apparently this story will not continue until Tales of Nottingham issue number 11. That's not due out until April of 2024 because of the way they do their rotation. It was a fun issue. It was a cool issue. I'm loving Tales of Nottingham because we're getting all the backstories and stuff. So that's really cool. These two, yeah, I don't know about these two. Next up on the list, we have Exorcist Never Die, issue number 4. This one, greed is our main demon, and it was a different take on greed that I thought. There was nothing wrong with it. I thought it was an interesting take on greed, but the whole thing is greed is going to basically absorb our exorcists into his collection and kind of, for lack of a better word, make them statues. And the way that he does that is he gives them everything they want mentally. So Elle, she is the prestige, the fame, the glory. That was what was driving her, was the recognition. Except Sid, and I have to keep in mind, Sid and Elle used to be a couple. Sid, everything that he ever wanted was Elle. He wanted a normal life with her. He just wanted to be with her. That was all he truly wanted out of life. And that was how greed kind of attacked him. He gave him all that mentally, but Elle saw it also because they saw each other's dreams basically. And at that point, they both realized that they would never be stopped as long as they were together. It went from kind of this weird little issue to like this really sweet moment between these two characters.
In the most improbable place in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're rediscovering their love for each other pretty much in the middle of hell. And at one point in this issue, honestly, you kind of feel like Sebastian would just go on and kiss the girl. I mean, that's kind of the way you felt. I mean, it's really good. If you're not reading Exorcist Never Die, definitely give this one a shot. I mean, this has been
Steve Orlando's doing a great job with that book.
He really is. And speaking of doing a great job with a book, our buddy, our pal, our friend, Mark London, Hunt, Kill, Repeat, issue number 5. Artemis has to, she's going into the basement to try to talk to Medusa because Medusa was her friend. She realizes that Medusa is too far gone. We do get the wedding between Medusa and Hermes before she becomes the Medusa that we know. Something happens, and she was definitely set up by Zeus and some of the other gods to turn her into what she is now. I hope we get a little bit more of that story to find out what it is. You kind of get the idea of what they were blaming on her, but you kind of want a little bit more. This was another really good issue. It should, at the end of this issue, Artemis's son reminds me of Damian Wayne, and I'm not a big Damian Wayne fan, so therefore I'm not a big Artemis's son fan. It's one of those where you're like, son, as soon as your mama gets there, she's about to handle business. She's about to get bent over her knee. Because I think Artemis is definitely done, and she's going after Zeus. Should be the next issue. One thing, though, that I thought was really cool, and when I got to it, I was like floored by it. This is the cover for the next issue. Tell me that is not an amazing flipping looking cover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That just is gorgeous looking. And there's the little Damian Wayne wannabe. I can't wait till he gets yapped up. He's already on my nerves, and he really and truly only been in it a couple of times. Next up, and here it is, Garth Ennis, the Ribbon Queen. In tomorrow's video,
I haven't gotten a chance to read that one yet. It's on top of my stack, but I haven't gotten to read it yet.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I go into a lot more detail in the pull list video tomorrow. It's full of spoilers, but I went into this as a clean slate. I did not read. I'm signed up for AWA's newsletter. I did not read anything about it on the newsletter. I stayed away from every little snippet or article or anything that they put on social media. I went into it as a clean slate, knowing absolutely nothing about this book other than Garth Ennis and the name of it. That's what I wanted. That was my decision. I wanted to see like completely and totally fresh eyes. It was not what I thought it was going to be. It was about 100 times better than what I thought it was going to be. some fantastic art. It's really a crime drama starting off that ends up with a paranormal twist. It was so good. No, Mr. Weslowski, you did not miss the pizza. It's literally sitting right here. Ribbon Queen is
I've got one on my side too.
Yep, it's Mike. I think you might like Ribbon Queen. I really do. It's going to be a little bit different. It's definitely going to have some paranormal aspects to it. You get that at the last of it, but it's also a little bit of a crime drama because they're also on some level dealing with a little bit of the fallout from a crime that happened a year before this takes place, and you're getting a little bit of that also. I really liked it. I mean, I know there's a big surprise, me liking an AWA book, but it was a solid read, really good. The way that it's written, it fits right in there with, as far as the writing style and the way the story flows, it fits right in there with Devil's Highway and Sins of the Salton Sea. So, I mean, it's really good. And as I called them yesterday, or as I called them on the video, they'll come out tomorrow. The next two are dishonorable mentions. If you liked them, you liked them. That's your thing. I'm not mad at you. Go enjoy your thing. But I was really and truly not a fan of Ultimate Invasion 1 or Ultimate Invasion 2.
Oh, you and I are on different sides of that one. I loved it.
It did nothing for me. It really didn't. The only thing that I really liked was when he went to Miles Morales. And
that
he's
was an
like,
awesome scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene. And Miles is like, no, thanks, I'm good. And he's like, you know what? Basically, here's my card. If you change your mind, give me a holler. I thought that was really good. But
and then the card was blank.
Yeah, and the card was blank. But to me, the whole thing of I'm going to use time travel to remake the world the way that I think it should be done, that's the way it come across to me. And that's just to me, that's kind of played out.
I didn't think so. For me, he was saying the world I came from doesn't exist. It's gone. But I have all the tools that I need at my disposal, or I can get them to make a world that's similar to that, but better, so that I can run it. And I thought seeing things like the Hulk as like the peaceful king of calm guru was interesting. The folks that they've got in the different roles in this different world that he's created is really interesting. It's like, what about if you could read a story of, say, the Maestro with conquering his realms and all the stuff that he did, right? This is kind of the same thing, but starting from scratch. Like when he stops the spider from biting Peter Parker.
Now, I thought that was a good scene. I like that one. That one was well done.
This is Jonathan Hickman. This is the same guy who gave us House of X and Powers of X, right? I think trust the man on the other two issues that are setting up this Ultimate Universe, because that's what this 4-issue limited series is. It's a prequel. It's setting things up.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
I'll give it, but as of right now, I'm not a big fan of it. But and then we'll do this one. My throwback pick of the week. So you're not going to understand what I'm saying about this until you watch tomorrow's video. So if you watch tomorrow's video before you see this, you're not going to understand what's going on. It's kind of I wanted to create my own stupid little nerdy paradox, so I did.
Okay.
But the only way that you're going to be able to answer the question in tomorrow's video is to come back and watch tonight's video. And the answer is Uncanny X-Men issue 251.
I always love that cover.
That's a beautiful cover. I mean, It's simple and elegant and dramatic all at the same time.
Yep. It really is. Yeah. So what was the question?
Basically, I held this comic book up and said, hey, if you want to know what the pick of the week is, you got to come watch. You got to go watch the live stream and then come back here and post a comment to tell me what the pick of the week was.
Okay.
Yeah, my little stupid little Easter egg that probably nobody's going to do, but we'll see.
You never know. Somebody might do it. some glutton for punishment might do it. But that's awesome. I enjoy going through the store folio every week and talking about comics and what we got going on. That's one of my favorite things to do. I dig it.
I got Radiant Black Volume 4 at home, and I will probably end up knocking that out Saturday morning during the peaceful hours. And then from the end of Volume 4 up to 25, I've got all those issues at the house. So we'll be adding Radiant Black fairly soon, which I am looking forward to because I have thoroughly enjoyed Radiant Black.
Yeah, it's everybody who reads it is a big, big fan. I just wish I could get more people to read it. You're making a scowly face. Why are you making a scowly face?
Oh, I was trying to read this over here. So he's not watching, or he would have already made a comment. Mark at Legion of Comics made a comment about a YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago called the Y-Files, and I have become addicted to the Y-Files. I have watched, just continuously watching them, trying to get all caught up and seeing all the different issues. And that was he had posted something on Twitter, so I was looking to see what he had to say.
All right. Well, before we go too much further, should we tell people what the giveaway is going to be? We actually got a couple of them.
I think we should. So how do you want to do it? We just said we were going to give stuff away, but we really didn't say how we were going to do it.
That's cool. Not everything is everybody's cup of tea. You gave it a shot. That's all anybody can ask.
Yeah, the first two issues of it, did you get to the part where the Radiant, basically Nathan pretty much ends up in a coma? I think it might have been like issue 3 or 4, because the first issue is really setting up who Nathan is, and then and how he pretty much failed. I'm thinking about doing just an entire video, like a catch-up video for Radiant Black up to Catalyst War, and then just kind of doing a rundown. I like the way that once you start getting past Nathan and more into Marshall, that's when it becomes like I thought it was a good book before that, but that's when it becomes really good, is when you start getting more into Marshall's character. Okay, sorry, I kind of hit a little tangent there.
It's all good.
How do we want to do the giveaways?
Well, how we've done it in the past was if you comment on the show, let us know you're watching and comment on the show, you get entered into a drawing.
No, I mean,
which
as
we
far
then run
as
live
like,
at the end.
are we? I've got these 3 right here, and then I've got a stack of trades that I kind of wanted to do as just one big giveaway. It's 5 trades, but there's a reason
Sounds
why
like
I
a
wanted
good thing.
the reason why I wanted to do them all as one giveaway is because they are all X-Men trades. So it'll be an X-Men giveaway.
There you go.
And
Well,
then
we are
these
also putting together a mystery box at the store that's going to be full of comics, and also we'll have a $25 gift card for Haven in it. So if what you want's not in the box, you can buy it, and it still doesn't cost you anything. How's that sound, Alan?
That sounds good. I'm going to.
Now, you saw the text from Nick earlier, right?
No. Oh, yeah, I saw that, but I was kind of confused as to what the actual giveaway was.
He's got the Spawn Compendium 1, 2, 3, and 4 that he is donating. It's the picture here, the other way. Spawn Compendium 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's donating, and then he's also donating a big old stack of Invincible trades.
Yep.
So we've got several prizes there. So it's the easiest thing in the world to win. All you have to do is come on here and leave us a comment. So Bill, you're already entered in here. Chris, you're already entered in here. Becky, you're entered in here. Mike, you're entered in here.
Yeah, Becky's not entered in here. She doesn't need anything. That's my sister, so all she's going to do is win it and turn around and give it to me.
Are we still giving away Jeremy Brunna gift certificates? I think we're out of those now, but those were pretty cool. Courtesy of Jeremy Brunna. He forgot to put the R in courtesy. But yeah, good stuff. So far, then it's just Bill and Mike and Chris Padilla in Texas.
Yeah,
that's Film Age Studios.
Yeah, and I had his. I mean, as of right now, I got 2 giveaways, so you got a damn good chance of me shipping something to you, Chris.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good chance. So, what do you say we talk about some previews and what's coming up?
Let's do it.
Now, we normally start with Marvel, but this week this month I want to start with DC. And I want to start with DC for one reason. And that reason, I'm going to embiggen myself here. That reason is this. Yes, you're reading that right. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. What is not to like about that?
I'm looking forward to it. Is it just a one shot?
That's actually a good question. It says that the DC Universe meets Legendary's Monsterverse starting in October. Let's see.
While he's looking at that, does the 11:15 start time still work for everybody as far as what time the pull list comes out? Do y'all want me to do later, earlier?
It still works for me, if that matters. This doesn't say if it's a one shot or not. It probably is, because it also doesn't say number 1 of 4 or number 1 of 6 or whatever. And it's definitely not an ongoing series. But look at this art right here. Excuse me. Look at Kong tearing down the Daily Planet sign while the Bat jet goes flying past. I mean, come on, guys.
See, to me, that looks like the Kong that had Bridges and Jessica Lange.
Yep. Yeah, it is more along those lines.
Yeah, I liked that version of Kong.
But that looks fun. I'm not gonna lie, that looks like a lot of fun. It's just one of those things that's so goofy you kind of have to you're gonna want to read it. I have to tell you, we already had 6 or 7 subscribers on the list for this book before I finished printing out the sign-up sheet. People would come in and say, "What's happening?" I tell them about that book. They're like, "Well, I have to read that." And poof, I hadn't even printed the sign-up sheet out yet, and we already had that many people on the list.
That's awesome.
All right. Chip Zdarsky and Teenie Howard, Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Scorched Earth #1.
See, I like what's
It's
I
the
like what
end
the
of the Gotham War, and it's number 1.
huh. Okay, that's different.
It's just they think they can sell more if they call everything number 1. It drives me nuts. I have to say, this is not a first issue, which is typically what we highlight here. But look at that Nightwing cover.
It's not focusing. Hang on. There it goes. I bet you there's a
Pirate Nightwing.
I bet you Dustin Ellis wouldn't mind having that one.
No, he's going to have to. He's getting all the pirate covers. But look at that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait till that comes in.
I'm excited for that. Trying to get to. Okay, you were talking about liking Zombie Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've got a whole new series called The New Golden Age, and it's one-shots of various Golden Age characters, and it starts with Sandman. Wesley Dodds Sandman.
I will definitely be picking that up.
That is followed hot on the heels with Jay Garrick, The Flash, which is followed by Alan Scott, the Green Lantern.
Now, is
I
that going
love
to be
the way they're doing
ongoing?
these. They're all one-shots.
Yeah, but I mean, is it going to be like ongoing under one banner, or are they just going to do like 3 or 4 and call it good?
That I don't know. They've only got 3 in this month's previews.
Gotcha.
Now, after that, we get into, Wonder Woman's lonely, out and about, kicking men's butts by herself. And they figure, why do that? So they have the Amazons. I'm going to be honest, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty interesting.
Now, is that in this week? Did that come out this week? The DC thing did?
The previews, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just got this the sign-up sheet put up on Saturday. Let's see here. We're going through. There's a Supergirl special, number 1. I don't know why it's a special, but they say it's special. It's special. Let's see what else. I want to say there were a couple other new titles in here that kind of got me. This one's interesting, potentially. Discover the shocking events that connect the Aquaman movie to the eagerly anticipated sequel. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And again, they're calling that a special.
Did you
I guess that's how they denote that it's a one-shot of some sort.
Did you read Superman Night Terrors?
Not yet. I flipped through it, but that was it.
I was kind of wondering what you thought about the end of it. Speaking of Aquaman, that's why. Ooh.
The original creative teams return for the 30th anniversary special, The Return to Superman. And if you're wondering, like, the original teams, yes. The original teams. So that's Dan Jurgens, Louise Simonson, Jerry Ordway, Carl Kessel, Travis Moore, Dan Jurgens, Brett Breeding, John Bogdanove, Butch Geist, Tom Grummett, Doug Hazelwood. I mean, that's like a who's who of 1992, 1993 right there.
I always thought that the look of Cyborg Superman was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, this is what I'm interested in. I'm excited for this one. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why. check this out. Batman City of Madness.
No, I have not heard about that one.
Well, you're going to get excited about it here in a second. But watch when I flip the page. Look at this art.
Might have been. Oh, is that Man
Okay.
Bat?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
you want-
Just kind of look like him.
but you want to know why I'm excited about this? This is Christian Ward, who said, you know, I have this idea for a story. And he pitched it, and they were all like, that's really interesting. And nothing happened. And then 3 years later, he got a call saying, hey, you still want to write that story? And he's like, yeah. Well, come on and do it. His idea was essentially mixing the Batman mythos and the Court of Owls mythos with a little bit of like a Cthulhian kind of mythos.
Okay, that could work.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you put those three elements together, I'm in. I am 100% in. That is absolutely freaking awesome. I'm excited.
I mean, honestly, Court of Owls and Cthulhu works on so many levels. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. But that's when you're going to want to sign up for right there. Batman City of Madness. You want to get in on that because it's going to be awesome. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's about it. So we'll scroll through real quick, see if we can identify anything else here. But no, that Batman City of Madness, I am very pumped for that. Not going to lie. Yeah, that's it for that. I did just see the ad for the Blue Beetle movie on the back here. What do you think about that? Are you excited for that? Couldn't care less. What's your thoughts?
Where, okay, so James Gunn has kind of confused me some with what's going to be canon and what's not going to be canon. The Flash is not canon. Is Blue Beetle canon for the new continuity that he's building? Because honestly, I think that's part of the reason why the Flash did so poorly. Was as soon as you said, "Well, it's not going to have anything to do with what I'm doing," you kind of pretty much put that movie, threw it underneath the bus. You know?
Yeah, put a nail in the
So
coffin. I
we
will
did
say I read a
see-
report earlier today that Gal Gadot is coming back as Wonder Woman for another movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Wesolowski, weigh in on that. I'm sure that you are happy about that. As all people should be happy about that. She's awesome, and that second movie was a total disservice to her. I hope to goodness that they are more on an Indiana Jones track and that the third one is amazing. Now, over to Marvel. I would like to just show the difference here, if you can see it, between the two. Can you see how thin the DC book is versus the Marvel book?
Yeah, but DC's working on quality, not quantity.
No, I understand.
Did I say that
But
out
I
loud?
just find that I don't disagree, but I find that interesting that this is just so vastly much larger. Now, this one does have a preview in it, several pages for the new Jonathan Hickman story called Gods. And Gods is an acronym. It stands for something, which we will get into. But this has a very intriguing little, let's see how many pages of preview it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5-page preview. And this is worth reading just for that. This is really interesting. I've never been a huge fan of all the Doctor Strange stuff and all the mystical, magical stuff. But this one looks like it's a really well-contained world unto itself. And it is set, this opening bit is set in the Library of Worlds. And it's pretty cool looking. Now, you want to talk about cool looking. Again, I feel bad for falling prey to this blatant attempt to artificially inflate the numbers for Spider-Man comics. But tell me that one's not going to sell.
Yeah, that one's definitely going to sell.
Who is not going to want that?
But you know, I still love the Iron Mickey one.
Well, yeah, that one was awesome. Now, I couldn't care less about Carnage. I care about this much about Venom. And I care not at all about Carnage. But I have to admit, this cover looks pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That Absolute Carnage #1 looks pretty awesome.
I think what did me in on Carnage was back in the 90s when we had to go through Maximum Carnage.
Ugh, it was awful.
And it seemed like that ran for like
430 years.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was like every time we turn around, it was Maximum Carnage, and then every time we turn around, it was Maximum Clonage.
Okay, so I got to read this to you because this is, again, this is for Gods #1 right here on the cover, right? That's Gods #1 by Jonathan Hickman. This is the I guess this is the ad copy for this book. Jonathan Hickman reinvents the cosmology of the Marvel Universe. So that's a pretty fundamental level of reinvention there. And it says, what happens when the powers that be meet the natural order of things? The infinite detente between the natural order of things and the powers that be nears an end. Old acquaintances are reunited during a Babylon event, which is a big event, I'm guessing, and not a good one. The Lion of Wolves throws the worst parties. Don't look under the table. There's a John Wilkes Booth penny on the ground. This enormous extra-sized issue features Doctor Strange, who, while not boring at all, is easily the most boring person in the book.
Okay.
That's how they're advertising this book. There's a John Wilkes Booth penny on the ground. See, all of these random sentences mean something, and they all fit in here somewhere. And I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. This one I'm less excited about just because they just keep doing this over and over, but Captain Marvel #1.
Okay, and it looks like, is she getting ready to do battle with Sailor Moon? Lift that back up there.
Yeah, it's pretty anime-esque, I'm not going to lie. And the colors aren't helping. But here's some of the other covers that are available.
All right.
But yeah, that's a pretty... she getting ready to do battle with Sailor Moon. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. If you have not left us a comment yet to let us know you're here, please do, because that's how you enter to win one of the prizes we are giving away at the end of the day. So heads up for new watchers who are jumping on. So there's also another new Captain Marvel book called Captain Marvel: Assault on Eden. And after the 4-issue Ultimate Invasion book, we get Ultimate Universe #1. And this says, after the world-shaking conclusion of Ultimate Invasion, a new team of heroes bands together to save the future. From Mastermind Jonathan Hickman and superstar artist Stefano Caselli, don't miss out on this foundational issue for the new line of Ultimate Comics. So they don't give us a lot to go on, but I'm in. Now, we're back to a book that I look at and go, how hard are you riding this wave? Because do people actually like this character? I don't know that they do. I don't hear anybody talk about the character. I hear people talk about his first appearance. Superboy gets his own book.
Yeah, I got nothing for that one.
Why?
Mike Wazlowski. You're right.
Well, he's not wrong about that.
And Bill, it's the same thing. DC loves the word crisis. Marvel's got
That
Ultimate
is
and DC
also
has Crisis.
true. Sensational She-Hulk #1. She-Hulk is back and sensational.
You know, I might actually pick that up.
Yeah.
And Nick Ellis may end up with a copy in his box.
Got it. What do you think about Yelena Belova, the White Widow?
Could care less.
4-issue limited series. See, I'm
I
looking
really
forward to it. I
wish-
think it's going to be good.
I really wish they would stop with these limited series and these got to add this character, got to add that character, and they would go to fixing some of their core titles. But we know it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. Now, I know we talked about Predator versus Wolverine #1 last time. But look at the cover for #2.
Oh, wow.
Let's zoom in. You got Wolverine there, but that surely does look like Sabretooth.
Yeah, I was fixing to say that
Who
looks
is
more
that
like
he's holding there?
their,
Is that's Maverick. Look,
that
that's
is Maverick. Yes, it is.
We don't get to see
Now-
him very much.
Now I'm intrigued.
But yeah, it's a story told through the decades. So, yeah. And the quote here is, "You picked the wrong mutant to hunt." I'm on board with this book. I really, really am. I think this is going to be great. And it
I
has
always liked
Andrea
the look of
DeVita's
Maverick.
art, and Andrea DeVita is incredible.
Yeah, I always like the look of Maverick. I don't know why.
Hey, I have a question for you. What month are we in?
We are in August.
That's what I thought. I thought we've been in August for a couple of days now. We are still pushing this classified book 3 months in a row now. Number 304. Stay tuned for more information, including the actual title, in July.
Has anybody even signed up for that?
Of course not. Why would they? It's a terrible idea. Now, speaking of terrible ideas, there was a book that came out featuring this character several months back, close to a year ago, I think. At least 6 months anyway. And I ordered a few copies just because I thought it looked goofy and funny. And I thought maybe people would like. We sold out quickly. And apparently it sold out quickly across the country. So, of course, they're coming up with the next one. It's Jeff, the Jeff verse, #1.
Yeah, that one did go like hotcakes.
Like hotcakes. So, if you guys want this one and you don't want to be sitting on the sidelines going, hey, I didn't get my copy, sign up for this one. The sign-up sheet is at the store. And if you're not local to Haven, and go to your local comic shop and tell them you got to have it, because this one's going to sell out too. Whatever it is about Jeff, who originated on Marvel Unlimited, I think, people can't get enough. So don't say we didn't tell you, because we did. You want to get it, get in on the fun. That's how you do it. Now, all right. Marvel Zombies, Black, White, and Blood, #1 of 4. Written by Garth Ennis.
Mm-hmm.
I like Garth Ennis.
Oh, that looks wicked.
Look at that.
That is beautiful. Mhm.
That's horrifying. Look at Wolverine with the Hulk.
Yeah, what's the other two?
Whatever could turn the two of them into zombies, that makes me nervous. Because they both have healing factors out the yin yang. Is that a Perillo cover on the zombies? Let me take a look. Bjorn Barends, Carlos Magno, Lionel Francis Hugh. And the main cover is by Delato. That's Gabriel Delato. All right, so we've got another book, and this one is starring a very strange cast of characters. On the front and center, we have the Hulk, we have Scarlet Witch, we have Daredevil, we have Deadpool. In the back, we have what appears to be Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, and possibly the Living Mummy. And this is Crypt of Shadows #1. You tell me, is that a modern take on the Living Mummy?
It's looking that way. Or Dr. Moreau, or was Isla Dr. Moreau? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this whole book, you had me until you got to Deadpool, and I'm like, why is Deadpool here?
Yeah, I don't understand why Deadpool is there, but I still got to get it. I mean, it's got...
It's written by Al Ewing, so this is the guy who wrote Immortal Hulk. It's got a bunch of different stories in it. Also by Steve Orlando, who's writing Exorcist Never Die. Yeah, it's got a killer lineup of people. But this is Reopening the Crypt of Shadows, #1. We also have, and this one I'm still trying to fathom why, there's just certain things that happened in comics that you don't need to happen again. And yet we're going to bring them back.
At least it looks cool.
I mean, it looks as good as it can look, I guess, but it's Cap Wolf and the Howling Commandos. Not even a one-shot. That's a 4-issue limited series right there.
Yep.
I'm going to throw the penalty flag on that one.
So we got a couple more people that jumped on. For those of you that are jumping on, if you make a comment, you automatically get entered into our 500 subscriber giveaway. In fact, we're doing, I believe, 3 giveaways. So just make a comment.
At least. Now this one, Hallows Eve, the Big Night. This is a recent Spider-Man villain that I think may actually go somewhere. But look at this cover.
That is
and
a
look at the masks.
cover.
Look at the faces that she's kind of juggling.
You know, I know nothing about that character. I gave up on Spider-Man so long ago, it's not even funny at this point.
Does that mean that you're not going to read the spine-tingling Spider-Man? They just had a one-shot in last month's previews, and now it's #1 of 4.
Yeah, probably not.
Why? What? Come on, guys.
Not until Marvel issues an apology for what they've done to Spider-Man.
Well, we know that's not going to happen. Let's see here. We got some more stuff. Okay. I get that Spider-Man currently and for quite some time has not been good. I include the storyline that's being brought back here into part of what made Spider-Man not so good. Superior Spider-Man Returns. They're seriously bringing back the Spider-Man with Doc Ock and Peter Parker's body?
Yeah. I know Nick's looking forward to it.
Why? Guys, come on. Just painful. Let's see here. Let's scroll through. This is a pretty cool one, I thought, of you can't tell very well. You've got to look really close, and I don't know if the camera will focus on it. But look at this cover of Cyclops. and look at his eyes.
That does look pretty wicked.
They're stitched shut. How creepy is that? But that's like classic. It's like classic X-Men art right there, though. That's X-Men art from 30 years ago when it was awesome. Let's see what else we got. Tons and tons and tons of middle issues of various books. This is interesting. This is the follow-on. It's the next issue of Invincible Iron Man after the Iron Man White Queen wedding. It is Meet the New Hellfire Club. So apparently Tony Stark is now like the Black King in the Hellfire Club or something.
Yep.
Well, I don't know about that, Mike. Last April, 38% of all books that DC published were Batman. 38% of all books they published were Batman. Now, they're not abusing Batman quite the same way, but DC is pretty guilty of this too. Now, I haven't read Wolverine in quite some time, just the regular series, but I gotta say, anytime you put Wolverine and Captain America together, for some reason, I like it.
Visually, they have always worked together on a cover.
Yeah. And speaking of visuals, this is a Mark Brooks cover. But holy smokes, does Apocalypse look wicked.
Yeah, it really does.
They gave him the Egyptian chin missile there, but he just looks awesome. So what are any of these books that you're particularly looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the Justice League versus Godzilla King Kong. I think we've all pretty much established we need that book in our lives.
I'm not a fan of what they're doing here. What is it? What do they mean, the last days of Moon Knight?
Yeah, I'm worried about what's happening to our boy Mark.
Jed McKay, do not do this to me.
And I'm looking forward to Crypt of Shadows. Just because, you know, even with Deadpool, I still like that lineup.
Deadpool just seems so out of place in that lineup to me.
Honestly, they could lose Deadpool and Hulk, and I think you'd have a great lineup.
I can't argue with that. I gotta say, this one, I like for one simple reason. This Ghost Rider issue. Look who that is behind it. It's the Hood. Haven't seen the Hood in a long time.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a fantastic cover. But we haven't seen the Hood in a long time. And I always thought he was a good villain. I thought Paul Jenkins created him as a really interesting villain. What happens when a low-level, street-level thug gets the kind of power that, like, Doctor Strange has? That makes for some interesting stuff, and I thought that was really good. Speaking of beautiful things, check out this cover for the Alien Annual.
Oh,
how gorgeous is that?
That is awesome. Anybody that's an Alien fan will flip over that cover.
Yeah, this is Alien versus Alien. Pity the Xeno.
And that's the annual?
Yep. It says a xenomorph queen and her hive descend on a dark world. They're hungry. They're always hungry and stand poised to overrun this planet like they have so many others until the native life fights back. I'm curious to see what happens there. Very curious.
I love a good alien story.
Oh yeah, the good alien story is hard to beat. Let's see. Yeah, there's a new Star Wars High Republic book, The Shadows of Starlight. I just think this cover looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gotta ask though, I maybe have missed it in the movies, but what's the dude with the crazy long neck here?
You know what? I think I've missed him in the movies also. I don't think he really actually got introduced until High Republic, did he?
That may not be, but I was like, that dude looks like somebody's holding up an oar with a
And I
face
tell you,
painted on it.
it's kind of aggravating that they drew a cone head and he doesn't look like Dan Aykroyd.
You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I say this picture, I know you don't care for Dr. Aphra, but that's a pretty awesome cover. Her holding what I assume is a kyber crystal.
Yeah, that is a good looking cover. I mean, I will always appreciate good art. I just don't appreciate some of the characters.
Yeah, that's fair. Not everything is for everybody. Let's see. Anything else in this previews of note? There is the Moon Knight Mark Spector Omnibus Volume 2 hardcover with a cover by Mark Texiera.
Oh, that's nice looking.
I want to see nice looking, dude. Check out this Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that great?
Who did that?
That is by, your favorite and mine. That's Liam Sharp did the cover. Interior art is by some guy named Jim Calafiore. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, name sounds kind of familiar.
Just a little bit. Speaking of which, we still have a couple of copies of Ned, Lord of the Pit on the wall at the shop. You should come and get them. Yeah, we just got this in at the shop. I don't know if you've seen it yet. We got the new Marvel role-playing game up at the shop.
I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, we just got it. It's on the wall right now, and it looks really good. I will say it's interesting. 60% of the book is little character bios. So if you want to play an established character, established hero in the world, you can. And I just found that kind of amusing. So let's talk a minute about Distillery. Are you familiar with Distillery?
Not on any level.
It's a new publisher. And they spell their name with no vowels, which is kind of a thing now that people do. It's DSTLRY. Their first book coming out is it's an oversized book. It's magazine size. And it is an anthology with stories by some of the creators who were there. The interesting thing is the creators, and this is part of their pitch, right? The creators who are making their books become part owners of the company. They get shares. And the first book that's coming out is this one. It's a book called Gone by Jock, the guy who did that amazing Joker cover for Detective 880 with all the bats. But yeah, it's a book by Jock called Gone. That's the very first book that's coming out from Distillery, so it's interesting. Did I show you this last time? I don't think I did. Maybe
I was trying to look. It doesn't look like they have a website.
I'm at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at this statue. That is General Joe Colton, like old school G.I. Joe.
Yep.
On this boat that's being wrapped up, and he's fighting this giant snake. And he has, quote, lifelike hair and beard. That's kind of creepy to me, but that's a cool statue.
But isn't that how they
normally-
did them back then too? With the hair and
Yeah,
beard?
yeah, the action figures used to have that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get down here. I say it's
So
very
look at-
strange when you open the full up previews book now, and the first thing you have in here is not Dark Horse, it's not Image, it's none of those books that it used to be. It's Boom Studios. They've got a new book. They have a new book called Ranger Academy #1. It starts this month, which they describe as Power Rangers meets My Hero Academia.
That's kind of a different combination.
It is. It is. Now there's a book. It's a 5-issue limited series called Slow Burn. It's. I mean, here's the little preview, right? It says, fleeing a botched robbery in New York City, a junkie, her dying partner, and a dementia-ridden old man pull into a coal mining ghost town in central Pennsylvania. And it's that town in Pennsylvania that's on fire and has been on fire for like 60 years. You know the one I'm talking about?
The one that was the inspiration for Silent Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
But look at that. Looks pretty cool.
And who wrote that one?
Somebody I'm not familiar with called Ollie Masters.
Okay.
Not sure who Ollie Masters is, but it sounds interesting. And then there's Ranger Academy, which is a new team. And it essentially says, if you had a chance to join the Power Rangers, would you do it? And it's by a young adult author named Maria Ingrande Mora, who is apparently very popular right now.
I'm probably going to have to decline because mainly I just don't think I'd look good in that leathery spandex.
You know, I have to agree with you. I don't think that's a good look for me.
Nick, what is up?
Wait, we have Nick in the house? Nick came all the way from the beach to come onto our show. Look at that. Look at that. Well done, Nick. Now that Nick is in the house now.
And Nick is now in the drawing.
Yay. You know what we can give Nick? He can win a special prize. If he wins, he'll get a special prize nobody else has ever won. He will get one genuine, very, very tiny Silver Surfer Pinky.
Oh, I thought we threw that away since nobody showed up to claim it.
I'm pretty sure it's still in the bag there. Actually, they laughed at me Saturday because I put it in a bag and board so that we couldn't lose it. Because it kept, like, every time you touched it, it's like, phew, shooting across the room, shooting across the room.
Nick, the box is empty, my brother. She's done.
I still got plenty in my box over here. So I felt bad doing nothing but eating pizza on the air, so I had to stop a little bit.
I will never feel bad when it comes to eating Terry's.
No, Terry's Pizza is good stuff. It's that kind of like local comfort food. And I tell you, another local comfort food that I miss, and I miss it so much, is El Palacio.
Oh, yeah.
I loved El Palacio. Their
Hey,
cheese enchiladas with the onions diced up on there and their refried beans that were actually cooked with lard. Oh my God, they were so good.
Totally off topic. For those of y'all that are watching on YouTube, if y'all will do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, please.
Boo!
It does help. We broke through 500. We are at 502 subscribers.
502.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we hit 1,000 subscribers. And those likes do help that. Because it helps distribute the smaller guys like us.
Are you an Army of Darkness fan?
I loved the movie. I loved Bruce Campbell's version of Ash, what he did with it. But the comics kind of fell short for me.
So probably not interested in Army of Darkness Forever.
I mean, is it a one shot or is it going to be a series?
It's from Dynamite, so it's a series.
Uh,
It's a series with 437 covers.
this seems to be a popular question. So, Nick, a sticky finger is from Terry's Pizza, and it is sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, and extra cheese.
And it is 100% delicious.
And it is so good, it will get you singing them old spirituals that are not in the hymn book.
That is a true statement. Yeah, you will do that. You will do that.
You
How
will
do you-
take a bite and you will be like, that's what will happen to you.
Oh, hallelujah. Terry's Pizza. This was not sponsored by Terry's Pizza at all, but it's Terry's Pizza. If you're watching and you want to, we will work for Sticky Fingers Pizza.
Let me tell you what, if we could get a sponsorship from Terry's, from AWA, from Mad Cave, and from the Great American Cookie Company, we'd be set.
Or Nothing But Cakes. I'll give you that one too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that one.
What is up with this particular bit of the 90s or the 80s coming back? What is up with that?
I don't know. I really don't.
I find it very strange.
I mean, now we both know that if somebody brought a deck of those cards into the shop, we would definitely go through them and laugh and be like, I remember that. I remember that.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know why they're trying to bring back some of the stuff they're trying to bring back. Like, I'm excited about Mad Cave and Gotcha Man, or Battle of the Planets, whatever you want to call it. And I'm excited for that one right there, too. Do love me some Alice Cooper.
It's a new series from Dynamite.
Means it's going to have 483
Alice
covers,
Cooper.
but you know.
That's correct. They don't do anything without a bunch of covers. Flipping through their previews is very challenging. I have to ask a question here, though, because this looks like something, and it can't be that something. And I feel like I'm missing something here, but that sure does look like Elliot.
Yes, it does. It looks like a younger version of Elliot.
Like, that feels wrong. Why would he be in Darkwing Duck?
I mean, he was in, I can't remember the actual character's name, but there was in Justice Ducks, there was a dinosaur looking character. I'll have to go home and dig out that issue now.
Now, I'm just going to show this off. This is issue number 3, and number 1 just came out this week. But Fire and Ice, number 1.
And I am looking forward to that.
It's written by Bill Willingham, the guy who wrote Fables. Fables was amazing.
I mean, honestly, Nick, technically she ranks 5th because She-Hulk was a better member.
I'm going to have to dispute that with you guys. I don't think that Sue Storm has gotten her just desserts like from day one. If you read the garbage of how she was treated and all that stuff in the early FF and marginalized, I don't think that's not her fault that she was written poorly. I think she's the most powerful one potentially of all of them. And I think that she can be amazing.
And
yes,
Nick,
Fire and Ice, Chris. Fire and Ice is getting a book, and this is from Dynamite. So there are approximately 437 covers for every single issue that will come out.
Yeah, and it's
And
supposed
I
to be
have to say, the art is by Leonardo Manco, and he is really doing this old school Frank Frazetta style, which is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think the camera will zoom in on it, but yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And if that's your thing, if you like you good Frazetta art um, with voluptuous women and moody settings and big menacing animals lurking in the backgrounds, uh, you're gonna dig this. You're gonna dig this.
Nick, I know that you are reading in order, but once you get to the current Fantastic Four run, honestly, all of them are on equal ground right now.
They really are.
They're all equal. I mean, it's just this one's just so different than what we've seen before. It's really good. Or let me rephrase that. It's so different than what we've seen in a long time. Let's put it like that.
Agreed. Agreed. Do you remember when they first did the Marvel Knights stuff? When that first came out and they did the Marvel Knights Fantastic Four?
Yeah, but I didn't read them.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And that one really played up because Namor was in it a lot. And it really played up the whole thing of him trying to steal Sue Storm from Reed Richards. And that was so well written that you felt like, that could happen. That could absolutely happen. And she was a very interesting character, the way that they portrayed her in that run. I really liked the Marvel Knights Fantastic Four. That was the strongest one of the Marvel Knights books, honestly, for me. Come on, we're trying to get to the good stuff. Okay. Let's keep moving. There's a lot to flip through. I tell you, our sign-up sheet for this month is the longest sign-up sheet we've ever put together. We still curated the list of books that are in previews, but it's almost 2 full pages. It's really, really long. Now, Nick Ellis, I'm going to just tell you now, I took the liberty of signing you up for this book already, so you and I are both signed up for this. This is a 100-page hardcover. It's classified as historical, and it is called Tolkien, Lighting Up the Darkness. And it is about Tolkien himself. So just so you know, I already signed you up for that. If you do not want to be on that, I would tell you to let me know and we'll take you off the list. But honestly, too bad, you're going to get it. That's just how it's going to be. You're going to have to do that.
Oh, and Nick, if you'll go back and look when Josh first started going through some of the Marvel's preview stuff, I signed you up for a book. But you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the stream to figure out which one.
All right, this is from Opus, and Opus has been putting out the Death Dealer book and some other stuff that's been pretty good. I have to say, I am 100% on board with this for a couple of reasons. But look at this. Dare you enter the Phantom Halls? It's like the House of Terror or any of those old House of Mystery kind of stuff. But look at this. It drives me nuts that I can't get this book to show better. But look at the old school EC horror book kind of cover with the circular headshots on the side. Look at the price point.
Yeah, I think I need that in my life. 32
I know
pages?
you need this.
It's a big book.
Yeah, it's a big book, and I know you need it. But yes, it looks awesome. And I just lost my page because that's not frustrating at all. Here we go. I'm back to it. But yeah, Phantom Halls. Also, it's written by Ian Edgington. And if you remember the old school back in the day when CrossGen was publishing and the book Sojourn, Ian Edgington wrote Sojourn, and Sojourn was flipping awesome. Now, there's also another book from Opus called Frank Frazetta's Beyond the Grave.
Opus has definitely gone all in on this Frazetta verse.
Well, they've got the rights to it, so they better. But Beyond the Grave, and then you can't see it very well, and this is driving me absolutely bonkers. But you have The Witch's Sabbath. And that is also published by Opus. So Opus, AWA does some horror, but they do more like, for the most part, grounded, real world-ish kind of stuff. I think Opus is going to be your new horror comic publisher.
I think they are too. I like AWA's horror because it's gritty.
Yeah,
it's like you said, it's a little more ground. Even though Black Tape is not grounded, but it's still a gritty. Black Tape is, honestly, if that would have come out when, say, The Omen or The Exorcist or Amityville Horror or that stuff came out, it would have fit right in with those. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking up some Opus comics because I have thoroughly enjoyed Death Dealer. It has been so good.
Their tagline for their universe is Myths, Monsters, Metal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I knew that would appeal to you.
Didn't they do the Halloween comic?
Yes, they did.
The Keeper of the Seven Keys.
Yep. Yes, they did. This is another one I'm really not sure about. Why is it getting a comic book? But you remember the movie American Psycho?
Yeah, the comic book is supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah, it is. I'm just still trying to figure that out. Like, why? Who's looking for that?
Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
So I wonder if the comic book is going to answer on if he really did it or if it was all in his head.
Well, yeah, I think it has to, but I'm still trying to figure out what it kind of ruins the mystique of the movie, right? It's kind of like if you watch the movie Ronin, you never find out what's in the briefcase because you don't need to know what's in the briefcase. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
That car chase is still one of the best car chases to ever be put on film. But if they made a movie about what was in the briefcase, like, why would I care? It wasn't important what was in the briefcase.
Phil May. It was announced a little while back that American Psycho was getting a comic book, and they really didn't say if it was going to be a prequel or a sequel. And then I thought I saw somebody come out somewhere and say that it was a sequel.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit intrigued, but at the same time, I wish they would leave it alone and just let because American Psycho was truly, it was a mind screwing of a movie. It should stand alone. It should stand alone on its own.
Yeah, it was insane. Now, I wish that they had a cover image for this, but they don't. IDW has got the rights to the Addams Family, and they are publishing the Addams Family Charlatan's Web #1.
Charlatan's Web.
No, I didn't see that, Mike. That's hysterical. Oh my God. You got to send me that link because that's funny. I'm sitting here thinking about Jeremy Bernard now and his inability to watch one of the best movies ever made. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Goonies is a classic for a reason. Let's see. The Godzilla book, again, they don't have a cover image this month, is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. That one should be a fun one.
Yeah, next week we should have Godzilla Here There Be Dragons #2 come out.
correct.
I am looking so forward to it.
I'm a little bit mad about that one
What was it?
because somebody took number 1 out of my box and gave it to a customer, so I didn't get to read it.
And who did that to you?
Well, there's only a handful of people it could be, and I don't know which one of them it was, but whoever it was, I really wanted to read that book.
Will they not fess up to it?
No. That's a mystery that we're going to have to enlist the Hardy Boys to solve.
Oh, speaking of Hardy Boys, I've been meaning to ask you. That just like triggered this. Wasn't there a book or a series that came out a couple of years ago that was about the Hardy Boys having to solve Nancy Drew's murder?
Yes.
Is there a trade of that anywhere?
I'd have to remember who the publisher is to try and find that out. I don't know if there is or not. It'd be cool if there was, though.
Because that guy, it kind of got mentioned because they were talking, Bug loves to read, and somebody was like, you need to read the Nancy Drew books. And she's like, well, I've read a couple of them. I was like, well, we need to try to find you this one. It was a comic, and I told her what was going on with it. And even some of the adults in the room was like, oh, well, that kind of needs to be a movie.
Yeah, it should.
And I'm like, well, I need to track that down then. I want to read it now.
I will try to find it. Now, here's an interesting one. I saw an article in the news about this one. It's called The Mysteries. It's a hardcover, and it is by Bill Watterson, the creator of Calvin and Hobbes. This particular book is a mysterious and beautifully illustrated fable about what lies beyond human understanding in this fable for grown-ups. A long-ago kingdom is afflicted with unexplainable calamities. Hoping to end the torment, the king dispatches his knights to discover the source of the mysterious events. Years later, a single battered knight returns. And then he worked with another artist in this kind of unusual collaboration where neither one of them really knew what the other one was going to do. And they kind of came up with this really interesting style. But you know what? I will buy this book if for no other reason than Bill Watterson wrote the single best comic strip of all time, and I still enjoy it to this day. I'm on a Facebook page where people do nothing but post Calvin and Hobbes strips, and I enjoy it immensely. I strongly recommend that group. But yes, I will try a new Bill Watterson book, 100%. Come on, let me get to the Image books. Where are you hiding? Stop hiding them back in the back. I know you're mad at them for leaving, Diamond, but come on. I say, here's the trade for Not All Robots.
That was a good series.
Rumpus Room number 2, The Madness number 3.
No, The Madness looks so good.
I have to say, this cover for Ribbon Queen number 4, and Ribbon Queen is an 8-issue limited series. I find that an interesting number. But look at this cover. How cool is that?
If honestly, when you read the first one, you'll understand that cover. I mean, that's almost a perfect cover for that title. And
the last issue of Sins of the Salton Sea is solicited in this month.
Good old Wyatt. We're going to see what he can do.
Yep. There for a split second, I thought you meant Big Wool, and I was like, I missed that guy. He hadn't been on here in forever. But to bring Wyatt back.
We need to get him on here to get us caught up on what's going on with anime. No
doubt. Here's a question for you. And this is a legit question. I'm curious about this. There's a book coming out called The Gun Hand. And it's a Western, as you might expect. It looks like it's got some kind of weird West elements to it. But just this first little sentence ought to tickle your fancy here. Picking up roughly 100 years after Mary Shelley's legendary novel of science gone awry, the immortal monster created by Victor Frankenstein finds himself transported from the icy waters of the North to New York circa 1888. He wakes up in the hold of a steamship.
Okay.
It's Frankenstein in a Western.
I mean, is New York in 1888 technically a Western?
Well, no, but he leaves from there and he heads west. That's just where the book starts. But it's Frankenstein's monster in a Western, and I'm kind of curious. It's a bizarre concept, but I'm kind of curious. Like, okay,
It's kind of like remember that graphic novel that came out in the God, it might have come out in the 90s, and I know I've got it somewhere at home. Martha Washington Goes to Space.
Oh yeah.
You're kind of like, it's weird, but I really want to know what it's about.
There's also a book called A Splatter Western One-Shot, Swallower of Shades. It's a chance encounter between a sideshow owner and a man with his fair share of secrets, unleashing an unholy terror on the folk of Randall's Oasis and Professor Morris's pageant of curiosities. A grisly murder brings the attention of fastidious Sheriff Jacob Dillon. What will he discover in the desert, and how will he stop it? It's apparently comedic, but also horrifying.
And who's doing that one?
A small company called Dead Sky Publishing. Never heard of them before.
Never heard of them, huh?
Yeah, it's.
But you know, it's those small independent ones that nobody's ever heard of that you got to watch out for, because they'll end up putting out the friggin' book of the year and you'll never know it.
That's true. But here's that book I was telling you about earlier from Jock. It's called Gone. It's published by Distillery, which means that as a creator, he is part owner of the company. The book is called Gone, and above that it says nothing is farther away than home. Let's see. On an impoverished and distant planet where menial workers scratch out a living resupplying starships, the best place to be is gone, and that's exactly where 13-year-old Abby wants to be. Along with her street-tough friends, Abby stows away on a colossal luxury space liner for a better life. Unbeknownst to Abby, however, her friends are not who they seem. She suddenly finds herself surrounded by branded a saboteur as she desperately struggles to evade the ship's deadly crew to stay alive. And it's written and drawn by Jock. So I like Jock. I'm willing to give Jock a shot. Here's the big 2-page spread. I mean, look at that.
That distillery, it says some of the founding members of it is Scott Snyder, Ram V.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And they apparently it was started by a couple of guys that actually used to be on Comixology for Amazon.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. It sounds a little bit like a kind of Image on the down low, right? Getting all these creators. Oh, just so everybody knows, I have a retailer roundtable phone call with Robert Kirkman again next week to talk specifically about Transformers #1.
We need him on the show to talk about Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Well, obviously, we definitely need to make that happen. This is a book called The Tesla Incident, The Huntsman. It's #1 of 2. It's a prestige format book, 60 pages. If the interior, this is always the question with these books, but if the interior art is similar to the cover art, That may just be worth picking up.
You say it's the Tesla incident?
It's called the Tesla Incident, The Huntsman.
So I guess the Huntsman is code word for Thomas Edison, and he's going to sabotage Tesla?
I don't think so. I don't think it actually has anything to do with reality in that sense. Although maybe in the vast wilderness of one of North America's largest parks, a group of adventurous young backpackers embarks on a journey in search of excitement and unforgettable memories. Little do they know, their path leads them into an eerie forest teeming with peculiar creatures and unsettling sights. As their escapades take a dark turn, they find themselves trapped in a harrowing nightmare, stalked by a relentless predator known as the Huntsman. Is this monstrous entity merely a legendary apex predator akin to the enigmatic Bigfoot, or does it conceal a deeper, more sinister secret that poses a threat to the very fabric of humanity's existence?
Interesting.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Again, fingers crossed that the interior art is at least somewhat in alignment with the cover art. Oh, come on. Humanoids, yes. Got it. Humanoids actually has some interesting looking books this month, I'm not going to lie. Remember, if you are popping on here and you want to be entered for some of our prizes for our 500 subscriber giveaway, all you have to do is leave us a comment. But you have to do that pretty soon because the night is getting no younger.
Yeah, we've had people jumping off and on, but only 4 people have left comments. And so far, those 4 people's names are in for the drawing.
That's sad.
It really is.
We're celebrating you people. We're celebrating you.
I mean, this is just as much y'all's accomplishment as it is ours. Even though
That's
the pizza
true.
was all mine.
And mine. I got a pizza too.
Yeah. I think Nick wants an invite if we get Kirkman to ever come on. And I told Nick that only if he keeps his hands to himself and doesn't break his pinky.
That's true. That's true. So, this is the year 1740. The Vatican is in turmoil. Grappling with a profound crisis of faith, outcast exorcist Father Franco Vieri is dispatched on a mission of grave importance to rescue a Spanish nobleman from the clutches of a sadistic demon known as Legion. But when the exorcism goes tragically wrong, Vieri finds himself trapped in a stranger's body and learns what horrors lies when the devil wears his face. This is from Mad Cave.
Oh, yeah. That one looked like that was going to be pretty good.
And then there's The Whisper of the Woods, and the cover is clearly set up to be well, you tell me. Does that look like something we've seen recently? Something about killing the children?
Yeah.
Now, if you zoom in, you can tell that's what appears to be a mostly naked woman in a cloak.
But you know, it's kind of comes across as a cross between Something's Killing the Children and Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah, ooh, Watcher in the Woods. Man, I hadn't thought about that one in a while.
Well, you know, I pull them old obscure ones out of my rear end from time to time.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh.
Well, there goes Josh's mood.
Oh, Bill Fisher, why would you do that to me? Oh, we're taking him off the prize list. That's it. Bill, I tell you what, there were announcements about Disney's Lorcana months and months and months and months ago. I said, we don't do a whole lot of card games up at the shop, but I'll be darned if we're not going to do that one. So I placed a pretty substantial pre-order on day one when they would accept pre-orders. Substantial by our standards anyway. A big order. And then a couple of weeks back, I started hearing other retailers saying, hey, I just got told that I'm getting allocated down from I ordered 20 boxes to I'm getting 5 boxes. Stuff like that. And so I reached out to my distributor because I hadn't heard anything and said, hey, I'm seeing this from other retailers. What am I getting? And he said, oh, you're not getting anything. I said, I'm sorry. He goes, sorry, man, you got allocated to 0. So when they had the big release or pre-release or whatever they're calling it, 2 weeks ago now, we had nothing. We had absolutely nothing. Even though we pre-ordered on day one, we got 0 copies. Now, the company that actually is producing the game is supposed to be cranking that thing the heck out and getting that back on the store shelves quickly. But I have no indication whatsoever from any of my distributors as to when I might be able to actually get cards in the shop. I am very displeased and most put out by this turn of events. Because not only did they allocate me down to 0, they weren't even going to tell me about it. I had to reach out to them and say, where's my stuff? And they're like, oh, what had happened was we screwed you. You just got 100% screwed. So instead of everybody taking a little bit of a hit, some people took a 100% hit and didn't get anything whatsoever.
And the company that's putting them out, sound like they were just not prepared for the demand on this.
They absolutely weren't. And that was stupid because they should have been. They took pre-orders really, really early on, and they should have known.
Yep.
They should have known. You couple the fact that it's Disney's name, it's a Disney product, it's a new card game, it's got the collectible nature to it. It's going to sell. They should have known, and they just absolutely dropped the ball. And that was heartbreaking. Now, jumping back to this, and hopefully to improve my mood now, Magnetic Press is putting out retellings of Dracula and Frankenstein. And I just got to say, look at this art.
Now, are they going to go with the original Mary Shelleys and Bram Stokers?
That's correct.
Nice.
I wish it was showing up clearer. Maybe it will show up better on the Frankenstein page.
Who's putting it out?
Magnetic Press. They're both absolutely beautiful. They are absolutely gorgeous books. They're hardcovers. The Bram Stoker's Dracula is 224 pages, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is 204 pages. They're hardcovers. The art looks exquisite. If you've read the books, you know the story is good. I'm really, really looking forward to that one.
Now, I tell you what, I like this. I jumped to their website to see if they said anything about it. And when you go to titles, it automatically has the titles busted up into categories: all ages, kids, middle grade, teens, mature, and art books.
Yep.
I kind of dig that.
But it looks awesome. I mean, it looks absolutely awesome. I will be adding those to my shelf. I'll tell you that.
Now, are these comics or graphic novels?
They're hardcover graphic novels.
Does it say what the retail is on them?
$34.95.
Oh, I'm looking at them now on their website. That white book with the red outline.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. When did these
Isn't that
come
gorgeous? November.
out? Oh, I got plenty of time. Yeah, put me down.
I think I didn't put you down on the list, but I almost did for both of those because they just look exquisite. Tell me they're not trying to catch somebody who's not paying attention with this comic. It's called Pocus Hocus.
Yeah, okay, hang on a second. This needs I need to share this. I think this needs a little more love right here, especially for the actual book collectors. This is what Josh is talking about with the magnetic press. There's a deluxe box set, but this is what I'm trying to get at. The cover, the white books with the red cover for Dracula, and then the white book with the, it looks like silver for Frankenstein. Those are absolutely beautiful. There's just the Dracula.
They are absolutely exquisite. I mean, they look gorgeous.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those that, I mean, I collect hardbacks. I definitely need these. And you got plenty of time. They come out in November. Yeah, that's going to look real good on my shelf.
Oh, yeah, absolutely exquisite. That's a good Thanksgiving Day present for yourself.
Yep.
That's what I think. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to talk about, and tell me what you think about this. Vault Comics has got a new book coming out in October called Unnatural Order.
Okay.
They are sending number 1 of that series. It's written by Christopher Yost, by the way, who has written some amazing comics in the past, but has mostly been writing movies for the past 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
He's come back. He's writing this book, and they believe in this book a lot. So they are sending copies of this book to retailers for free.
Okay.
Unnatural Order number 1, they are sending to retailers for free. So, what we're looking to do is to give away copies of that book for free to anybody who signs up for issues 2 and 3. If you don't sign up for it, you can pay cover price, which is $4.99. But if you sign up for issues 2 and 3, you get issue number 1 for free. How does that sound to you?
I think that sounds like that's kind of ingenious if you ask me. And what is the book about?
It's hard to explain. It's a challenging concept. Look it up and see if you can find something there, because it's not in this month's previews. It was in last month's, but they just
Vault Comics.
Vault Comics. It's called Unnatural Order by Christopher Yost.
Okay, so they've already got some big massive pre-order up for it. Let me just click on it. Well, it's blah, 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 blah. I mean, it looks kind of wicked. They've got some limited edition cover coming out. Oh, wait a minute. Full synopsis. Here it is. After the fall of the Britons and the Roman invasion in Hibernia, however you want to say it, the captive known only as the Druid is released, sending a darkness across the world, an age of horrors, of fire and entrails. As the innocent burn in the wicker fields, those who would resist learn of the existence of a man who even the Druid fears. For it is this prisoner, a soldier from a different time, who alone knows the Druid's secret. This is not how the world is supposed to be. I can dig it.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, what I'm going to show, don't anybody get sticker shock or anything. What I'm going to show is actually some type of special edition San Diego Comic-Con. But, oh crap, come on. Do more than that. But I mean, they've got
yeah,
like
that's not the
number
covers that we're going to get.
Yeah, this was some type of special edition, but they kind of give you a little bit of an idea. Does it got anything? Oh, 32 pages, blah, 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 blah. View products detail page. There we go. That's a little better. Not much, though. Just give me. Okay, never mind then.
But I can tell you, Christopher
it
Yost
looks
is a good writer.
All right, we're getting closer to that time. If you have not made a comment and you want to be entered in the giveaway, you need to make a comment.
Yes, please do. We have things to give away, and we would like for somebody to take them. You guys are making it hard on us. It's like you all been talking to Nick Ellis.
Yep, I got 4 people in the giveaway. And we got 6 people.
I'm pretty sure that just means that all 4 people would win something, right?
Yep. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a giveaway. So this is what I did. I've got, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do my thing first. Let me share my screen.
He's got to do his thing first. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Yeah, it's getting ready to pull the trigger. Anybody gonna make a comment? I'm looking.
Look at that.
All right. So, Bill, you win the first one, and this is what I'm going to do, Bill. Pick a number, 1 or 2. What I did was I wrote a 1 and a 2 on 2 different pieces of paper, and I mixed them up so I don't know what's what, and I literally laid it on a stack. So, Bill, you get to pick your prize. It's either number 1 or number 2.
Number 2 seems dangerous to pick. I'm just going to say.
No, I don't think so. All right, so we're going to remove Bill's name. All right, Bill wants, let's see, Bill wants number 1. So let's see which one of these is number 1. Bill, you actually win. Let me stop this screen for a second so I can show you what you win. You are actually getting the advanced reader copies for Project Reese, which is by Mad Cave Studio, an advanced reader copy for Monomyth number 1, and the Ash Can by Ryan Stegman, The Schlub. This is an Ash Can edition. So that's what you are getting. And then we will jump back here. That was number 1. And Bill, I will just stick these in your box.
Chris, I have not seen Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Don't really care to, but I have heard about the ending and color me a little intrigued, although not necessarily real happy about that. Your screen's not showing.
Look like so the next mine.
You're all locked up, Alan.
With
Okay, we lost Alan. I couldn't tell if that was just me that couldn't make out a word he was saying. I did hear that he said Mike Wesolowski, if that helps any. but I don't know which of the prizes that that he has for you there, Mike. So we'll have to see when he comes back. Assuming he comes back, he may be down for the count because he disappeared hard. So we'll give him a minute, and we'll just talk about some other things. He did not care for Ultimate Invasion #1 and #2. I have to tell you guys, I did. I really liked it. Kind of felt like going back to some place I really enjoyed. And it was very well written because Jonathan Hickman, whatever else he may be, is a good writer. So that made me pretty happy. Let's see, do I have anything new that I need to show? I haven't gotten any new books from CGC in a minute, outside of the ones that I showed off last week.
Okay, I have no
Have I
idea
showed
what's
this one
happening.
off yet? Yes, it is. There he is. He's back.
I had no idea what just happened. I was like showing what Mike had won, and next thing I know, everything was gone.
Well, you had gone real squirrely before that, and I couldn't tell if that was on my side or your side. And you were all just robotic. And I heard you say Mike Wesolowski, but that's all I heard.
Well, okay, Mike Wesolowski, you won the drawing, and what you won is a series of X-Men trade paperbacks. So we've got Generation X, X-Men Gold, Astonishing X-Men, and believe it or not, Astonishing X-Men was actually really good.
It was
up
really
until
good.
like right there toward the end of it. But you also have Jean Grey Final Flight and Jean Grey Nightmare Fuel. And I believe Nightmare Fuel is the one where she actually meets the Phoenix version of herself.
Yep.
I'm not for sure.
So, because of the way that this is broken out, we're the last two people who are going to get prizes. It only makes sense to just go ahead and decide who's going to get which one, since one of these people has donated these prizes.
Yep.
So, Chris Padilla, I hope you like Spawn, because you're going to get Spawn Compendiums Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Nick Ellis, you are going to get a mystery box of comics, trades, and a Haven gift card, in addition to exactly one Silver Surfer Pinky that you can reattach to your statue, because Tots found that Pinky on the floor like half a mile away from where the statue broke.
Josh, as far as Nick's mystery pack of comics, text me on the side how many comics that he's
It's all
going-
Spider-Boy, don't worry.
Yes. Okay. Okay, he needs Spider-Boy, Gold Goblin. Yeah.
That would be the meanest thing.
The death of Miss Marvel.
All things Nick will love.
All things Nick will love. You know what? I'm going to pick out at least 2 to go in Nick's.
You want to know something I do really honestly want to put in there, specifically for Nick, because it might make him feel compelled to read it, is Kraven Lost Hunt.
That, all joking aside, that was really good. I was actually impressed with that. That was really good.
I was too. I really liked it.
I really wish that Nick would finally break down and read the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, the miniseries.
He needs to, just to get all the rest of this taste of what's going on in Spider-Man out of his mouth.
Yeah, because that miniseries, but before they did that, ongoing series, I think that ended up being 14, 15 issues, something like that, maybe 20.
Yeah, it was longer than it should have been. Yeah.
Yeah, but that original miniseries, that original 6 issues, was so good.
It really was. It felt like what Spider-Man's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I tell you what, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We're celebrating 500 subscribers. I know that's not a big number in the grand scheme of things, but we're really awesome. We have a great community full of great folks, and it's always good to see you guys. It's good talking with y'all. Hanging out with y'all on Thursday nights is one of our favorite things in the world. Um, uh, Whoa, hang on a minute, Chris. What are you posting there? Pull up Chris's comment there.
Are you sure?
We'll show
Because
you.
I've seen them and they're nice.
They're the compendiums. They are very nice. That's a very kind gesture, sir. You've been around for a long time on this channel. We appreciate you, brother. But yeah, as I was saying, really appreciate everybody who tunes in. Whether you just watch the shorts, you check out the weekly pull box from Alan, you watch the live shows, live streams, whatever you do, you're going to want to tune in for 24 hours in the comic shop whenever we're able to make that happen. We need to get that on the books because November's creeping up, Alan.
There's these two brothers that I'm really waiting on.
Honestly, I can show the picture. I got it on here. I don't know if it will show up well on here. Shoot.
Yeah, I think both of ours are about the same.
Compendiums.
Yeah.
Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty awesome stuff. Well, Chris, you see, that'll definitely blow somebody's mind. You know what? That's a great question, Bill, and I think definitely the answer to that is 100% yes. They have not made big announcements about G.I. Joe the way that they have about everything else, and I think part of the reason for that is because G.I. Joe is picking up right where it left off, and it's continuing that story, and the others are all launching with new number ones. I think that's exactly what they're kind of keeping that on the download. They're really promoting the Duke Limited series and the Cobra Commander Limited series. But I think that they have been really kind of quiet about G.I. Joe 301. I don't know that that's a good call or not, but they have been, as they've been promoting the Energon universe, because I think it doesn't, they're retconning G.I. Joe to fit into it, but I think they're just going to let Larry Hama run wild with what he's got and keep doing what he's doing. So yeah, I think it's not as close a tie into the universe, and that's part of why they're doing that. Why are there two number 3s on Spawn? That's a good question, Mike. And I'm sure Nick has a good answer. But
because Nick just loves number 3.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys. Whether you watch live, whether you watch after the fact, if you just pop on for a few minutes, or if you stay the whole time, we really do appreciate you. We thank you for doing that. We like hanging out with you, or we wouldn't be doing it. Although, for every 500 subscribers, we get a Sticky Fingers pizza, and that's okay. I think we can live with that.
Yeah, I'll be good with that.
You got anything else you want to say before we sign off and let these good folks go to bed or go do something else?
No, I mean, regardless of when you're watching this, thank you so much. The channel really grew a lot because of the shorts and everybody just talking to everybody else and tell them about us. And I know that we're nowhere near compared to some of the bigger channels, but every little bit of growth, it's because of y'all. We wouldn't be doing this if it was just Josh and I getting on here talking, that's something we could do on a Saturday morning. So, Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for clicking the like and clicking the subscribe and all that good stuff. And You'll have a new video out at 11:15 tomorrow and a short tomorrow afternoon.
Awesome. And we will catch you guys next time.